quiet you. All right. Hello and welcome to Just Animals Podcast. I'm Elle, and with me as always is my dad, Guy.
Hello, wonderful pod world. How are you?
Oh, can you shut your clock up, please?
Which
Is it done?
oh
That goddamn dinging shit you have. All right. And
well, we
anyways,
have two clocks. We have the grandfather clock, and then we have the
they just
nautical
have so
clock.
much noise shit in their house. Anyways, joining us today for a very special episode for the new year. We're doing a bit of a show and tell. We have our very special guest, Crocodile Cam, with us. Cam, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us how you got your name, that'd be
Cool.
awesome before we get going here.
All right. What's up, you guys? It's a pleasure to meet you guys, and it's a pleasure to even be on this podcast. So thank you so much. How did I get the name, or how did I come up with it? In truth, I actually didn't. I just started posting all of my animals, the ones that I have as pets and the ones that I'd find outside. I would post different animal facts on social media, and people would call me, like the Black Crocodile Dundee or different things like that.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
Blackadile.
yeah, exactly.
Crocodile Dundee, yeah.
One person, and I don't remember who it was, but one person said Crocodile Cam, and then more people started saying it, and I was like, dang, I kind of like the ring of that. So yeah, had a nice ring to it, and I'm a huge fan of the Crocodile Hunter. He's the reason why I do any of the stuff that I do regarding animals. So it's kind of to pay homage to him as well.
That's awesome.
Good.
That's awesome. So we're going to do a little show and tell with Cam today here. So we'll get it started with your non-reptile pet first so that she doesn't feel left out. And then we'll get into your cool reptiles. What?
Do you have a Gila monster?
You got to wait and see. What?
Okay, gotta wait and see.
Why are you trying to steal his thunder?
I was just wondering if you had one.
Yeah. So
non-reptilian
is when she runs up. Taylor, come here.
Oh, our first guest is being a bit of a diva. That's okay, though.
Oh.
So
wow.
This girl here is Taylor.
Oh,
is that a Rottweiler?
Yes.
Yeah.
How cute is she?
Hey, girl. So I've had her longer than any of the reptiles. I got her January 16th of 2021.
Okay.
She was 8 weeks old. I drove all the way up to Colorado to actually get her, and I live in Mexico right now, so it was a day-long trip there and back. I've raised her in a dorm. You're okay, girl. I raised her in a dorm, so I made sure that she would be super friendly with people, other dogs, even kids.
Right.
And yeah, as you can see, at 120 pounds, she still thinks.
Oh, she's a big girl.
Still thinks she's a lap dog. Yeah.
Yes, that's a big lap dog. Yes, I find the bigger they are, the more they want to be in your lap.
Yeah,
that's a big girl.
Yeah, but yeah, she's super spoiled. But I love her to death.
Fantastic.
Is she obedient?
Yes, she's actually really good. I told her to sit and stay until I called her. She literally was in there just, relaxing until I called her out for the show. Girl, the camera wants to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like our cousin has always had Rottweilers. It's like Jerry's dogs.
Yeah.
Oh. Jerry's dogs.
Yeah,
sounds
baby
like
Jerry.
Jerry's kids.
Yeah, baby Jerry's kids. All his other kids. Yeah. But yes, so thank you for showing us Taylor. We will get into why don't you, I don't know however your order works, but whichever animal you want to start with, go for it.
Okay, cool. All right, Taylor, go. Good girl, back in the room. Back in the room, girl. You're okay. Good girl.
Now, does she ever interact with your reptiles, or?
To be quite honest with you, I don't think they even care about each other.
That makes it easier.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes it super easy. I have an 8-foot boa, and
an 8-foot boa. Wow.
Yeah, and they have been within inches of each other.
Huh.
And at most, Taylor will sniff the boa, or the boa will she'll flick her tongue at Taylor. That's it. There's nothing else.
That's good.
Yeah. Now
boa says, "You smell like a dog."
Yeah.
Says,
yeah.
Says, you smell like my leather chew toy.
Yeah. Right. Now I do think that if I had her around my my emerald tree boas, I think they might get a little defensive, but that's just because of the kind of snakes that they are.
Sure.
but yeah, I try not to let them get too close.
Sure,
Just
of course. A healthy distance. Like, okay,
yeah,
you're aware of each other,
exactly.
but we don't need that's about all we need.
Exactly. And so I have, I built most of my enclosures, but
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
some of them are closer to the ground and she walks by them all the time.
Mhm.
And they're not striking at
Right,
the
glass trying to
glass.
get at her or
Yeah, they're not
whatever.
showing any signs of being stressed out either.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah.
That's good. We'd love
All
to
right.
hear that.
So what do you guys say? Should we go largest to smallest, smallest to largest? What do you think?
However you want to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
however you how you run your show is fine
Okay,
for
cool.
us.
All right. So usually whenever I do shows, I always start smallest to largest.
Sounds
Save the
good.
biggest for last. So give me
Sounds
one
good.
second. I'll step away
Sure.
from the camera and I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Can you not breathe into the mic like a walrus, please?
I'm not even near the
You
mic. It's right over here.
you
I'm over
literally
here.
just
You don't even see the
walrus
mic.
breathed into it.
His name is Cam.
Yes.
Cam.
Yeah, I saw you literally just blew into the mic like a walrus. Why do you breathe
Okay.
like that?
I have to. Don't forget my feeding time.
Okay, you're fine.
I only eat one meal a day, so.
Okay, well, you're fine.
Okay. Sorry about that, you guys.
No, you're fine.
Cam, I have a very important question I got to get out right
All right.
now.
What's up?
Are you a parcel tongue?
Oh my god.
I self-proclaimed yes.
Okay,
But
Fair
great.
enough.
when I took the test, yeah, they put me in Ravenclaw. So I don't
Oh,
know.
good!
Oh,
Yay,
okay.
Ravenclaw.
You
I'm.
know,
I'm. My tests. They put me in Gryffindor, but I'm self-identified as a
Okay,
Ravenclaw.
I
you know
like it.
what?
I like
Yeah,
it.
S-
Okay.
smart but creative.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That being said, I do feel like I have a special connection, especially with snakes,
Okay.
um, both wild and captive. I have literally been able to hold. This is Casper. He's a corn snake. He's
Okay.
a
Yes.
phantom morph corn snake. So that's why he's white. But
Oh, okay.
I have literally been able to hold him in my hand while holding a mouse, and he'll still
Mhm.
eat.
Wow.
Yeah, he feels very comfortable with me, even being a lot smaller. But
Yeah.
Mm.
he does a great job.
Oh wow. He seems very very active. Is this his normal awake time?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was up moving around when I grabbed him out of his enclosure. But yeah, he is probably my second most active snake.
Okay.
Uh
Um,
huh.
yeah, and that one will come in a little bit. But I love him. He's a great starter snake, especially for kids,
Okay.
and other people who may be afraid of snakes.
Okay.
Um, just because looking at something smaller, who
Right.
while
More
he's still
manageable.
active, yeah, exactly,
Right.
he's still active, but he's calm. He's
Right.
not he's not striking. He's not hissing. He's not
Right.
doing
Yeah.
anything. And I always use him as a warm up,
Mhm.
especially when there are people in the crowd who could be a little bit afraid.
Right. Like, oh, snakes.
Yeah,
So, in your opinion,
what's up?
like your dog wants you to pet her and love her and hug her
Mhm.
and give her attention. What do
Yeah.
you think about those snakes? Do you think that they have that same desire or need, or they just like, you know what, if you touch me, fine, but I'd rather just go eat a mouse or something.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I've been asked this a couple times. Okay, buddy. Um, kind of do you think snakes can build a connection with people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think that they personally don't need to be handled. They don't need to be
Uh
touched.
huh.
I
Sure.
Uh
think
huh.
that I think it depends on the snake, but
Sure.
especially corn snakes and other snakes that are a little bit more active, I think they absolutely appreciate being taken out of their enclosures,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
handled, just shown
New
a different
environment,
approach.
exploring.
Exactly, exactly. Um, Now I don't think that they personally need it, but because I want to have them around people and I want to
Right.
have them around children and
Socialized. Yeah.
exactly, I need to do it to make sure that they're understanding, okay, when I'm being handled, when I smell people, I'm not in
Right.
danger. You know, I don't
Right,
need
right. I don't need to freak out or be defensive or
Uh-huh.
exactly because there's nothing worse than being at a show with scared people in the crowd and
right,
Yeah.
snake starts hissing or your snake strikes at you, and now everyone who's already scared and slowly
right,
starting to warm up to you.
They're out. They're
right. Yeah,
out.
they're gone. They're in the back of the building, out.
Yep, exactly. So that's why I take time almost weekly with all of the snakes to make sure
Mhm.
that they are cool being handled,
Right.
um, and just they're okay to be walked around with. So that way they know, hey, when I feel this, when I feel hands on me, we're perfectly fine.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in your feeding process, do you allow for some enrichment of them in terms of a natural hunting environment, or what type of enrichment activities do they do? They do like crosswords or
Yeah, do they have is there a snake
puzzles,
pong or
or
something?
do they watch the certain TikToks they like or something? Yeah,
So in feeding, I am not against frozen thawed or pre-kill.
yeah, yeah.
I usually do live feeding, and that's
Mhm.
because live rats and live birds are the easiest and most affordable for me to get where I'm at right now.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I'm usually feeding them, like I said, live rats or mice,
Mhm.
or chickens or ducks, because they're sold. Yeah, they're sold very cheap
Oh,
by.
yeah, you just like a grain and feed store, right?
Yep, exactly. And with how many they have, they're selling them at almost $3 a piece. So it's super affordable, and it still is able to feed the snakes. Um, that being said, usually what I'll do is I will, and I always monitor whenever I live feed them. I don't ever want the snake to end up getting injured. So I'm closely
Sure,
monitoring it every time. But what I'll do is I will toss the feeder in their
sure.
enclosure. Um, I might nudge them to wake them up sometimes, and usually within minutes they are actively pursuing it, ready to grab it. And I haven't had any issues yet. When I have done frozen thawed or pre-kill, I
Mhm.
will either hold with my fingers or some tongs, and I'll just dangle
Right.
it near the snake and just let them grab it.
Sure.
Um, I do feed my larger snakes raw chicken wings, and I'll
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah. You can actually feed larger snakes, chicken wings. You don't want to do it often, but
Sure.
I would do organic if I were you, but I'm not telling you what to do
no,
because
no,
there
no.
you get
I whole
salmonella, a lot of
yeah,
salmonella, and I mean maybe snakes don't have to worry about that, but you want
It's not
some
like snakes
clean.
have refrigeration in the wild. I mean,
yeah. So
No, no, but they're the chickens are not being processed in a food plant where
yeah,
they can pick up something.
you're 100% right. I did look into that, and that's part of why you don't want to feed it to them that often.
Right.
Uh, that being
that's fair.
said, snakes are at low risk for that, so I wasn't too worried. But either way, I still don't do it often.
Sure.
Um,
So how do you tell when the snake is hungry, or
oof.
you can't
So
tell? Yeah.
um, a couple signs are they'll start exploring their enclosure a little bit more. Um, Snakes are often a little bit more reserved, and you'll see them, just kind of staying in one spot for a while.
Sure.
But when they get hungry, their natural instinct is to get up and go start
Start
looking for
looking
food.
around. That makes sense.
Exactly, exactly. Um, now, I have my snakes on a pretty close feeding schedule where I will
Mhm.
feed them 1 to 2 times a month,
Mhm.
depending on whatever they ate the last time.
Mhm.
Uh, this guy will be eating probably two large mice next weekend.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, they usually get used to that. But with a lot of snakes, they will eat even if they're not necessarily hungry.
Just
Oh.
survival. There's
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
yeah, they will eat to the point of they're getting obese.
So tell
Uh,
me what happens with the bones. I mean, are they digesting the bones, or are they coming
yeah,
out?
yeah. So snakes, they have really really strong stomach acid, and after they're finished consuming an animal, whether it is something as small as an insect or a small fish, or something as large as an adult, crocodile or alligator. Um, they completely digest everything: skin, bones, whatever that animal had eaten before. Uh, they digest it all, and then, excuse me, when it is time to, go to the bathroom, they will, when their urine is partially liquid but also a little bit solid.
So like bird
And
poop?
sorry,
So like bird poop?
yes, but a lot more. It's a lot, yeah. Um, and it smells pretty bad.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I bet.
and then yeah, and then their feces is kind of like dog poop. It is,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah. It's crazy. My 8 foot boa. If I left her feces outside, you would think it was a dog just because of the size. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, they fully digest the bones. Um, after they do
Well,
eat. Oh, good. I'm sorry.
do you have to supplement any kind of essential fatty acids or anything in their diet, or just
Maybe
the
not.
live food is enough for them?
Yeah, nope, nothing. Now with lizards, yes, especially
They need
insect eating
calcium.
lizards. Yeah, you want to add calcium. Um, but with snakes, I have no issues with that at all.
Do you have a chameleon?
No, I love chameleons, but I
Me
haven't.
too. Me
Yeah,
too.
I haven't got into lizards quite yet. I'm waiting till I move into a more stationary location before I start getting more high maintenance animals. Snakes are a little
Sure.
bit more low maintenance to where I can leave for a couple days if I need to,
Sure. Sure.
and they won't really notice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just kind of like, oh, you're back. Okay, whatever.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know when you have a mouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now, do they
Oh,
recognize you? Like when
sorry about
you?
the dog. I was hungry. That's
Oh
what your
yeah,
boa
right.
says.
Yeah, yeah. But like when you are
I
gone
tried
for a
call
while.
DoorDash, but they wouldn't. I didn't have a credit card, so I had to
Yeah,
eat the damn dog.
yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
What were you saying, El?
Do they recognize you? Like if you're gone for like a few days and you come back and then you're walking around, will they kind of come check out, see what you're doing, or do they seem to like have that recognition of you?
A little bit, yeah. He does it the most. And I would say my emerald tree boas, they're the only other ones that really do it, where I will catch them actively looking at me through the glass.
Wow.
Um, yeah,
Does
he'll
that ever
do
feel
it.
predatory?
No, and the thing is, I feel like we've developed a relationship of trust.
Okay.
Um, whenever I handle them, even if they don't want to come out of the enclosure,
Mhm.
they're not getting defensive. They're not
Sure.
striking at me.
They're just kind of like, okay, fine, I
Yeah,
guess.
All
ex-
right, I have a
We'll let
sticky
him get. We'll let you.
question.
We'll let you get the next animal. Let's let him get the next animal.
All right, get the next animal, then we'll.
Thank you, Casper. You've been a great
yeah.
guest.
Goodbye, Casper. You did a great job, buddy. All right.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
And it's gotta be kind of creepy, when like your snake is just watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's one like when your dog's looking at you, it's kind of like, eh. But
Well,
it's gotta be a little different when
your
a
dog
snake
just
is
wants
looking at you.
food and attention and love. Your snake is like, you looking at me like a meal?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, does it feel predatory when a snake is staring at you?
All right.
Oh
Ooh,
wow,
how pretty.
Yeah. So here,
is that the emerald?
yeah. So this is actually 2 emerald tree boas.
Oh,
Oh my
two.
god. Are they
Okay,
Yeah.
a
So there's a
pair?
male right here. That's
Okay.
Zorro, and then there's a
Zora.
female right there. Yeah. So her name,
Zora.
yeah, her name is Kawina.
Kawina.
Yeah. So I'm a big One Piece fan. I love anime. Um, that's where I got these names from. But
Okay.
this is going to be a breeding pair.
They look like they're breeding right
Yeah.
now.
How do you know that they're going to want to breed? I mean, will they always want to
Well,
breed
look at
if
how
it's a male and a
intertwined
female?
they are. They obviously don't mind each
No, I
other.
know that,
Yeah.
but sometimes you can, like with fish, it doesn't matter that they're male female. They don't necessarily will breed.
So these snakes, they're not, especially Kawina, the female.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
is not big enough just yet. Girl, where are you going? She's not big enough just yet to breed. Zorro, I'd probably give him a couple more months, maybe one or two more sheds before he's ready to breed. Um, but they only breed during the wintertime.
Oh, interesting.
Exactly. So
So
oh, good. I'm sorry.
what I'm no, I interrupted you. When this snake gets to full maturity, are they going to be shedding still, or they're done with that? Is that just for growth, or is that for like sloughing
Maintenance.
off our skin, to bring up a healthy layer of skin? What is that for?
So both. It is for growth and for bringing a healthy layer of skin in. Um, with and I don't know where Queen is going, but with snakes, especially in the wild, let's say one of these snakes gets bitten by one of their
Yes.
prey, they will have a scar, they'll have scratches,
Ooh.
and the when they shed, sorry about that, they will those scars will gradually go away, right?
Ah, okay. Sure, sure, sure.
Exactly. Hey,
That weaker skin.
exactly, exactly. Now, shedding is also for growth. So snakes will never stop growing until the day they die.
Oh,
That being
really?
said, yeah. Now that being said, when they do get bigger and they reach maturity, their shedding will be a lot more
Infrequent?
yes, infrequent because they don't
Mhm.
have to grow anymore.
Sure, right.
These
It's more just
snakes
maintenance.
exactly. So Zoro, he will probably reach, I'd say maybe 4 to 5 feet. So he's close. He's maybe about 3 feet right now. Kawina, on the other hand, could reach up to 6 feet. Um, maybe even 8 in extreme
Oh,
circumstances. But
it froze
I
up.
think, oh,
Oh, there he goes.
sorry, can you guys hear me?
No,
No,
you're
yeah,
fine. Yeah,
now
you're
you're
fine now.
fine. You froze for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Um, Zoro, I was saying he will reach about 4 to 5 feet. Kawina, she'll probably reach 6 to 7 feet. Oh, she's trying to.
Oh, that's another big girl. So is that normal for their species, the females to be bigger?
Yes,
Di
Okay.
Diamorphous.
there
Diam
are not a lot of snake
Yeah.
species where the female will get
Right.
will be smaller than the male.
Oh,
Usually the male is
interesting.
smaller. Yeah. Like for example, bull snakes. The male
Mhm.
will get bigger than the female in those situations.
Interesting.
Uh, but yeah, but they will grow until the day they die. It'll just be slowed down
Very
significantly.
slow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, have you
So
ever read
I
the
have to
children's
ask you a
No, it's my turn.
controversial
No, it's my
question.
turn. No, 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 quiet you. Have you ever read the book Verdi? I think it's about an emerald tree boa. It's that cute little
No,
snake, and
no,
he's
I
curled
haven't.
up like one. Oh, it's a great children's book. You should check it
Oh,
out.
I'll have to check it out.
But yeah, that's immediately what those 2 remind me of. I'm like, "Oh, it's Verdi the snake." Do
Oh,
you remember that book yet?
thank you so much. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
definitely have
you've
to
had
check
your
it out. So
question.
it's a children's book?
Mhm.
Oh, I
I'll send
love
it to
that.
you.
Okay, cool. And
My
guys,
So
question was important. Quiet
yes,
guy.
no, you quiet. Um, Many years ago, when I lived in Florida in the 70s,
okay.
we did not have not. I don't live there now, but Florida did not have a problem with snakes in the
Hermes
Everglades,
pythons.
Mm,
or nor did they have a problem with what are those other things, iguanas running around.
yep.
Now, I think that people take on a pet and don't know what they're getting themselves into, or
Mhm.
realize how much work it is, or this thing is now 150 pounds, and what do I do with this 12-foot guy? And they irresponsibly bring them out in the Everglades, which
Mm,
causes tremendous environmental damage. I'm sure
yeah.
you're familiar with this. I'm not telling you anything new.
Yep.
So I guess my question to land the plane, is there a snake or reptile sanctuary where people can bring these animals instead of just dumping them out in the wild and causing environmental havoc?
Yeah. So there are reptile sanctuaries. There are animal sanctuaries. Um, I personally have been to one down near Austin, Texas. Um, they had, and I don't remember the name of it, but they had an incredible reptile room, and they really took care of their animals. Um, Now in Florida, I am sure that there are tons of animal sanctuaries, tons of reptile sanctuaries, and I know that there are some scattered throughout the United States. It is truly a matter of taking accountability and being responsible. Um, it would be very, very easy for me to release. I could go to Florida and release all of my reptiles if I just couldn't take care of them anymore. And I wouldn't have to bat an eye, and they would more than likely flourish.
Don't do that, please.
Yeah, I would never. But
I
yeah,
know. I'm teasing him.
no, I would never. But it, if I couldn't take care of my animals, I would find a safe home for them. That is what. That is how I got two of my snakes, which you guys will be meeting soon, where people couldn't take care of them, and they reached out to me asking if I could provide a good home for them, and thankfully I was able to. I always recommend, if you're gonna get an animal, same with dogs and cats. If you're gonna get
Right.
an
Yeah.
animal, do research. Look up how big this animal's gonna get. Look up, how
Right.
do I take care of this animal? Look up all types of different things to make sure you're ready for what you're about to get into.
Yeah. No, you're right. People don't do enough research. I
Well,
mean,
you're
if you
right.
look at
And then,
shelters, it's all
there's the question of, well, some people may be squeamish about giving live food to a reptile. And,
so don't
Mhm.
get a
you know,
reptile.
you just like if you have a chameleon, I've never had one, but I've done a little bit of research. You have to give them crickets, live crickets. And if you're squeamish about giving crickets, then don't get the reptile. And they need warmth and certain other things. I love them,
Yeah,
but, it's work. That's why I don't have a dog now, because I'm not in that mode.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Speaking
And
of chameleons, really
what's up?
quick, funny story. So I'm at the vet with my dog one day. It was just this like
Okay.
regular checkup, and there's this guy with this box, and they're talking about, which actually is a question I have for you. And they're talking about the thing that's in the box. I'm nosy. I'm trying to see like what the hell's in the goddamn box, because it was kind of like a hushed conversation, and I
Yep.
was like, so I'm thinking, and they're talking about like you know birthing eggs, and I'm like, oh, it must be a chicken or something, someone's pet bird.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
no. And then the guy actually asked me, because I think he saw me trying to like figure out what was I'm, so obvious. And he's like,
Yeah.
do you want to see what's in the box? I'm like, yes, I want to see what's in the box. And it was this,
Yeah.
unfortunately, like, very pregnant chameleon. And you could
Oh
see
wow.
like the outlines of the eggs in its poor little belly. And I don't know if it was like, I think it was like maybe her first time like having a clutch. And so like, I know
Mhm.
the first clutch can be kind of hard for them.
Yep.
But so and that's why she was there, because he's like, she should have given birth by now, or, had her eggs by
Yeah.
now, and they weren't coming out. And he's like, what do I do? I mean, me, I would just like toothpaste tube it, which you're probably not supposed to do, and just kind of like squeeze them
Yeah.
out. But
you got to
I,
rub their belly, maybe, help them.
like, do I just like toothpaste her out? And then, because I know if the eggs break inside of them, that can be really bad. But yeah, it was just this very pregnant chameleon. It was the wildest thing. And I was like, thank you for showing me what was in the box. But yeah, then I felt bad for her because she looked so uncomfortable. And I was like,
Oh
oh,
man. Yeah.
but so is
So
is that common, the first like clutch for an animal? Can it be kind of rough for them, for
so
reptiles?
it can be, but a lot of it can be avoided with how well you take care of it.
Okay.
So, for example, these snakes, they don't lay eggs. Boas. That's one of the differences between boas and pythons. Pythons lay eggs. Boas, they just give birth to live babies. Yeah. So whenever Kuina ends up being, getting pregnant and potentially giving birth to anywhere from 5 to 20 babies, uh, yeah, yeah, um, all of them will come out, unless they're stillborn. All of them will come out live and ready to eat.
No kidding.
Yeah, but it is a possibility that she could deal with different difficulties with that. And when it nears time for her to end up having babies, I will really, really be invested and be very present in making
Right,
sure that
monitoring.
exactly, making sure her environment is as low stress as possible, making sure she's eating enough, um, just making sure all the requirements are met to make sure
Sure.
she has a stressless birth, and that way as many of the babies as possible can survive.
Do you
I didn't
have
know
to
that
remove the
that not all of them
dad?
laid eggs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you
What
know
were you
that?
saying, guy?
No, I didn't know. I
I thought
thought
they
they
all
were
laid
live
eggs.
birth.
No,
They
what,
all
you thought
lay
all
eggs?
snakes were live births? No, that's what I'm saying. I thought all snakes were just eggs.
No, like rattlesnakes, they don't lay eggs.
That's terrifying because they're
Yes.
already terrifying.
As,
I don't. I
well,
great.
as soon as rattlesnakes give birth, those babies are full of venom,
Yeah,
ready
and
to
they're ready to go, and they're the most
yeah,
dangerous
Full of
ones, the little
venom.
babies. They
Wow.
are. They're
yeah.
full of piss and vinegar, literally.
Mm.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, do you remove the dad once the playtime is over?
Yeah, so that that's what I will end up doing. Once she ends up being pregnant, I will separate them. Um, again, just to make sure she has as low stress of a pregnancy as possible, and also to make sure that he isn't still in breeding mode.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
exactly. Now, I am not extremely well versed in breeding reptiles. This will be my first time, but the research that I'm going to continue doing will have me more than prepared.
Sure. Yeah, no, you seem like you're
Is
very
is
invested
there
in
a
what you're
market for those
doing.
babies?
Oh yeah. So
Oh, look how beautiful they are. I mean, that
yeah,
color.
so each one of these, um, let's say she has 20 babies,
Wow,
depending on
20.
where I sell them, they could go for anywhere from 3 to 600 per
Holy
Jesus.
mackerel!
baby. So in best case scenario, she has 20 and all of them survive.
Right.
Yeah, that's 3 to 600 per baby.
Dang,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an alligator, a reptile farmer here
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, there are people who make their entire living off of stuff like this.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, so it's slowly becoming a more popular hobby to get into. Oh, you okay,
Right.
bud? It's slowly becoming a more popular hobby to get into, but um, you want to make sure you do the research beforehand and just know that there are
Right,
tons of
and the ethics, it's kind of like dog breeding, the backyard dog breeding, and then you have to deal with all those yahoos. It's like they're just trying to make a quick buck. They're not breeding
yeah,
for quality or for, or whatever. They're just making these crazy morphs just to make them. And it's like, this is a really unhealthy snake or whatever. Or like, this shouldn't be
exactly.
bred.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
They are so cute. I just love that rich green color.
Oh, I love
Now,
it
where
so
are they
much.
from?
So you can find
Like,
these
or
snakes.
like in the wild?
Yeah, you can find them in the rainforests of South America.
Okay, that makes
Yep.
sense.
So they're down there with now there are different kinds of emerald tree boas.
Sure.
These are the northern kind,
Okay.
so they're a little bit smaller than their cousins, the Amazon basin emerald tree boas. Those ones can get up to 12 feet. Yeah. Now there are also Amazon tree boas, which are a little bit skinnier and they come in much more vibrant colors. But yeah, these ones are my personal favorite. So yeah, and they're coming back together. But yeah, they do a great job together. They any given day, I can find them both cuddled up, stacked on top of each other. Um,
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, yeah, they do a great job, and I monitor it regularly just to make sure that they're doing all
Right.
right.
Everyone's copacetic and we're doing what we need to be doing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Clock for you. What are you
I
doing?
understand. No, it's not 10. It's 11:30.
Okay, it's very early in the day.
I'm standing
All
up.
right, don't
Thank
take
you.
it personally, Cam. Like literally, my mom will take him to a party and he'll be asleep in the middle of a full room with his mouth open in a chair, and there'll be like 20 people in the room. It's his
That's
it's his
okay. Yeah.
rude, embarrassing superpower. So don't take it
I
personally.
feel I
Like
feel relaxed.
It's all right.
Yeah.
that's
All right.
just
Who's next on the agenda?
All right, let me go put these two up and
Yep.
I'll grab the next person.
gotta get you a shock collar. What is the matter with you? That is so rude. I could have sworn I told you about the very pregnant chameleon. She was just in this little box that had padding.
Nope.
Their little
No.
hands are so weird. They're kind of like lobster claws.
They
Yeah,
have a like a. It's like yeah. It's
yeah,
like
a little pinch.
oh
Oh,
wow.
Right. And
What do we
actually,
got?
so would it be okay if I turned a light on so that way
Sure.
absolutely. Please
Yeah.
do. Go for it.
Please.
I didn't want to mess up, anything with the podcast. Give me
No, no,
one
no, no,
second.
no.
No. No. No.
All right. So yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay.
Who is this?
Good.
Who is this?
So this is Atlas. He is
Atlas.
Okay.
yeah. So let me show you his face so you can understand. He is a white-lipped python. You see
Yes.
Okay.
the lips there, and I actually got him because somebody couldn't take care of him anymore. and
Okay.
somebody was actually in Florida and easily could have released him.
Oh
But
Oh.
gosh.
yeah, thankfully they saw my social media page and they reached out to me, and
Oh, thank God.
yeah, and I was like, I would be honored to take this snake off of your hands. It's a
Yeah.
pretty rare snake as well.
Oh, no
He
kidding.
actually almost died in transit. Um, he ended up having to sit in his shipping box for an extra day
Oh
in
boy.
in about 40 degrees weather, and
Ouch. That's not good
yeah,
snake
and
weather.
it wasn't a great situation,
Right, and
but
the stress of traveling, I mean, I know they
yeah.
traveling can really stress them out, and then you're in this box, and then
Mhm.
it's cold,
How
poor
old is
thing.
Atlas?
So I think he's about 5 years old.
Oh my gosh.
He still has some growing left to do, but the woman who sent him to me, she did an amazing job taking care of him. He is extremely handleable. I have handed him to children. He has done a great job. Yeah, he has done a great job. Uh-oh. Yeah, and I think he's going to be shedding soon, actually. Looking at his eyes. Yeah, he has a little bit of
Oh, is he
bluish
getting the
in his eyes right
cloudy?
now. Yep.
D-
So I think he might be shedding soon. I'm very excited for that. Uh,
what do you do with the? Can you do anything with the skin? Do you call it skin
yeah.
or
So it's the shedded skin. I personally don't do anything with it. If I
uh-huh.
keep it, I'll hang it up or put it
Yeah,
away somewhere. But
right.
I've had people reach out to me. They have asked to buy the skin off of me for religious purposes.
Oh,
For
interesting. Okay.
yeah, for religious purposes. I know some people actually use snakeskin and they'll put it in jewelry, or they will use mugs, like make mugs and put the snakeskin on it. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and they'll do all types of different things with it. So yeah, I am always down to share those kind of things. I've had teachers reach out to me
Oh,
asking to have
sure.
some snakeskin just to show their classes.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so that's usually what happens. If not, especially if it isn't a full shed, I'll just
Mhm.
throw it out.
Yeah.
I used to keep every single shed, and then
Oh,
I
that's very
realized,
Silence of the Lambs of you. You got
yeah,
your little
man,
your
You're
little
gonna need a
skin.
shed for the sheds.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
And
Get
then
your
it,
little
it started becoming a lot.
right.
So yeah, I was like, I gotta stop.
Yeah. 'Cause imagine just, like, someone find like, a box tipping over, it's like, "Is this all just snake skin?" It's like, you know what? It's
Yeah,
fine. It's fine."
exactly. I've actually had people reach out to me asking to get some of my larger snake sheds,
Sure.
and basically what they do is they'll use it as a prank.
Oh,
Um,
Oh,
sure.
yeah, for one of their family members who's terrified of snakes,
Of
they'll
course.
hide it in their house.
Right.
Just say, "Oh my gosh, now you have an 8 foot snake in here,"
Right.
um, which
it,
I personally
it
think is kind of funny, but it's definitely not helping. What I'm
Right,
trying to do as far as
right,
sure.
people not be afraid of snakes anymore.
right.
Is there
How
any collagen or
keratin?
minerals in
Probably.
the skin there?
Um, I believe so. I know that when snakes shed, if I don't take it out of their enclosure, I have a cleanup crew of isopods and springtails, which are basically very, very small invertebrates or very small bugs that eat waste.
Ah,
So,
okay.
yeah.
You're
So if I was to leave,
detritivores.
exactly. So if I was to leave the snake shed in there, they will eat it, and that will provide tons of nutrients for them.
Got it.
Yep.
Nothing
Interesting.
that goes to waste in nature. Everything is
Exactly.
recycled somehow.
How much does
Exactly.
Atlas weigh? Or is that like like how often are you doing snake measurements, if
So
at all?
I don't weigh them. I don't measure them. Um, I haven't had the need to. Um, and I just lied. I actually measured my longest snake the other day to see how long she was, and she's about 8 foot 2 inches right now.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, and
Okay.
that's just because I let her free roam and kind of, you okay, buddy? I let her free roam and just kind of make her way around the apartment, and she was straight up against one of the walls.
Oh
So
my
I,
gosh.
yeah, on the ground still, but
Right. She
let
kind
up
of measured
against.
herself. Yeah.
Let me see how long she is. But yeah, I don't weigh them. I don't measure them. If I was to take a guess, I'd say Atlas is about maybe 7 or 8 pounds.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um, The other snakes, I'd say maybe a pound. Like the tree boas, I'd say maybe Zoro's a pound or 2 pounds at most.
Hmm.
Um, and I would think Kawina and Casper are both under a pound probably.
Is
Hmm.
Atlas a constrictor or
Yes, yeah.
oh,
Yeah. So
All
does that make you nervous
he's
around your
getting
neck? Sorry
around
to
your
cut you
neck
off. Right? Yeah.
there.
I mean, is that kind of like, please don't, not the neck. You
no,
can wrap other places.
nope. So all of my snakes are constrictors.
Okay.
Um, I am potentially looking into getting venomous snakes, just not quite yet.
Sure.
Um, those I would not be handling like this.
Right. Sure.
um, but yeah, so I don't mind them going around my neck. I know I know when to say, all right, let me
Right. We're done.
loosen.
Yeah. Like, okay, we're done now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And
It's too
I
much of a
usually
hug.
don't
The hug
have
is
to
no
do that.
longer a hug.
Oh, say that one more time.
Okay.
A little bit.
I said it's no longer a hug. It's becoming more
Yeah.
than a hug.
Oh, exactly. And the thing is, even if they were to squeeze a little bit too tight, none of my snakes would ever be able to overpower me unless I
Sure.
just let them, and
Right.
none of them would be able to eat me either.
Right. Yeah. So
Um,
it's kind of that's a waste of their energy then.
yeah, yeah, and a lot of people they say, oh, the snake was gonna stretch out next to you. They're just trying to see, how big they have to get before they can eat you. Snakes don't do that. That famous story of the woman
Yes,
who
who
had
slept with her snake in the bed and the
oh
snake
my
stopped
goodness,
eating, and then it's
yes,
like the vet's like, he's sizing you up to eat you, and it's like,
yes.
okay,
That is it is that story has done so much unnecessary damage to
yeah.
snakes' reputation. Snakes don't do that. There's
No,
only one species of snake that has ever even been documented killing and eating a person. Like there's so few possibilities of
right. And
that ever
I
happening.
think people forget that like animals, when like wild animals, they're always thinking about the well, not thinking, but like they're always subconsciously thinking about the energy that they have to exert to
Yeah.
get their prey. And it's like if the prey
Mhm.
is going to be more energy than what they're going to get from the prey, it's not metabolically worth it to like granted they're not going through that thought process, but like that's what's happening. Like for your snake to that snake to try to attack you, it's like, okay, I'm going to expend all this energy for what?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And even if they were to try to attack in our sleep,
Right.
the way that humans' bodies are shaped with our head and then our shoulders going out like this,
Right.
as opposed to how most of snakes' prey eats, where their bodies are a little bit more aerodynamic, I guess,
Right.
or,
It's more
or I guess
streamlined.
easy to swallow. Yes, it makes it so much harder for snakes to even attempt that. And that's why there is only one species of snake that's ever successfully been able to do it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
What's up?
You know, snakes in human culture have lots of different symbolisms. So, in other words, the medical symbol has a snake on it, right? Are you familiar with why they use a snake in that symbology?
So there's two different things that I have heard.
It's
One
actually a
is
worm.
sorry.
A worm. No, so
No, it's
just
two
not to
snakes.
steer I
It's
know, but it originally started because there's this parasite that you would get a stick and you'd wrap it around the stick to get it out. So that's what
Oh,
one
the
theory is that it came
tapeworm.
from that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I
There's
actually didn't know that.
well, not a
A lot-
tapeworm. It's a different type of worm that lives like in the skin, but they would wrap it
oh,
around a stick to get as they're getting it out. And so that's one theory where people think it came from.
gotcha. Okay.
oh, I'm looking it up now. So there's a wand that was carried by Hermes, but I
Mm.
don't know why the
Okay, well
snakes are in there.
let him tell. Let him
I'm
tell.
gonna yeah, I'm anxious to hear.
So I have heard that in ancient Greek mythology, Hermes already had that wand, or
Hmm.
that staff, I guess, with
Hmm.
snakes on it. But in I guess more recent history, I've heard that it comes from how snakes will shed their new skin, which kind of brings them symbolically into new health. Like I said before, they shed their scars off, and because you're okay, because snake venom has actually become very commonly used in both fighting cancer and creating anti venom to save people from bites. I believe there are other uses for it, but it has become very medically significant around the world.
Well, think about this. Whoever thought we'd be injecting botulism into our face? That's
Yeah,
Botox.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, okay. Well, thank you for that because I've
Absolutely.
just never thought about it, and then um, it's been the symbol of medicine and medical profession.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have been a Slytherin. Are you sure you're not a
Oh my
Slytherin?
god.
Look, I get
Don't you
asked
let
that
this
all
go.
the time. But the test that I took, it put me in Ravenclaw.
Not a problem. I know.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you as a Ravenclaw.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Should we go to the next snake?
Sure,
Sure.
absolutely.
All right. Say bye to Atlas.
Bye, Atlas.
Oh, that's a cute name. I like all their names.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also
Acephalus?
Asclepius, a cephalus.
As-
I think it's
a
Asclepius.
sleepiest?
No, oh my god. The rod of Asclepius.
Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Okay, but what's the snake there for?
I don't. Maybe he just had a snake on the rod. I don't know. It's just some type of serpentine. I don't know.
Well, wasn't the snake sleepiest?
The rod
Slepius.
of Asclepius. I don't know.
A slep.
Oh,
CLEP.
okay.
Slep.
Now you know. Oh, okay, well, he's the Greek god associated with healing and medicinal arts in ancient Greek religion.
Right. Why the
And he
snakes?
attributes the snake and staff, sometimes depicted separately in antiquity, are combined in this symbol. Okay, da, 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 da. You breathing like
Oh,
that?
that time I did breathe.
Sorry about that, you guys.
No, you're
Oh,
fine.
that's the big boy.
Yeah,
Or
so this
gal.
so this is Persia.
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 Yeah, so
Wow.
she is a jaguar morph carpet python.
Wow.
She
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful looking.
yeah, I love her. They're found in Australia, and
Okay.
she is my most active snake. You guys will
Yeah, look
see.
at her. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys will see as I continue handling her. She's always trying to be on the move,
Yeah.
and that's even when she's already eaten. So I think that's just how she is. Now these snakes can get pretty big.
Mhm.
Because of her morph, I think that she'll probably stop around 8, maybe 10 feet at the largest. But in the wild, carpet pythons have been seen getting up to 14 feet.
Oh my god.
How
Yeah,
much does she weigh now?
she is a little bit heavier than Atlas. I would say you're okay, girl. I would say she's probably maybe 10 to 12 pounds.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good size
okay.
snake.
That's not
Yeah, not
too
not
bad.
too heavy at all though. But she's super active, and she will actually be getting put in a larger enclosure soon, so that way she can move around a lot more.
Hmm.
Yeah,
She is very active. Wow.
yeah.
Is this the one you let roam around your house there?
So I do sometimes, but I have to keep a very close eye on her because she will disappear.
Oh,
um,
yeah, well, we can't have
yeah,
that.
yeah, and she's even though she's big, she's still small enough to
Right.
squeeze in different places and make finding her very difficult.
Oh,
Got
sure.
it.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, put
Wow.
one of them Apple tags on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a
It's
bell, like a
I
cat
have
or
bell
something.
to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, she is great. She is one of the most consistent and reliable eaters that I have. She is always hungry, and oftentimes when other snakes don't eat, I'm able to just give her whatever they didn't want to eat.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
she seems
That's what
quite
we do with
active.
our his brother.
Don't
Oh,
use my government name.
I think I forgot. Edward. I think his name's Edward.
yeah,
Yeah. It's like Edward only give it to you, Edward.
Yeah, the
He'll
yeah,
fix you.
exactly. But
the
I mean,
human
she does
trash
a great
compactor.
job, and she is a. Ooh, she's tied around the table, girl. Hold on. Yeah, she is. always on the move. I definitely got to keep an eye on her.
Yeah, she seems like. How old is she?
So I actually got her as an adult already, but she is about 7 to 8 years old. Come on,
Oh
girl.
wow.
Let's get you up here. Yeah, she's about 7 to 8 years old. Um, Super active, and I've been considering breeding her, but I'd have to get another carpet python first.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah, but she is one of my favorites personally.
It's just wild seeing a this larger snake like that, so mobile and active. You
Oh,
usually don't like at the
yeah,
zoo, they're usually just like in a ball, kind of like looking at stuff, and you don't usually think
yep.
of them as being this active.
See, I was nice enough to hit the mute key.
Quiet
But
you.
no, she's great. And actually, I've never even seen a carpet python in a zoo.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yeah,
So here's a question: what happens if you have to go out of town or take a vacation or whatever? You have somebody to babysit your snakes?
Probably make sure he feeds them before he
yeah.
leaves.
So usually, what I'll do is I'll feed them before I leave, depending on how long I'm gone. If I'm only gone for like a week, they're
Yeah.
fine. Um, but I will have a friend come by and turn off and on their heat lamps.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, turn them off at night. It naturally gets cooler at night wherever they're located, so
Right.
Right.
it keeps it kind of natural for them. And then I have them turn them on during the day. All of the snakes have different heat lamps or ceramic heat emitters
Uh
to
huh.
closely mimic whatever the temperature that they would experience in their natural environment. But
Right.
yeah, but I mean, besides that, I'll fill up their water bowls, and they're perfectly fine while I'm gone.
Great.
That is a
Yeah,
nice
That's
low
not bad.
maintenance pet.
yeah.
That is a very
Now
nice low
I
maintenance.
did hear you say I do have
Yeah.
two more snakes. Do you
All
Yeah.
want to
right.
now,
Yeah,
or
let's see him.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
are you
Yeah.
sure? Okay,
Yes,
cool. I wanted
absolutely.
to be
Ignore him.
respectful.
He's just getting antsy because it's his feeding time soon,
It
allegedly.
is
So ignore him.
noon.
He's fine.
Okay, all right, cool. I'll hurry up and get the next one. So
Yeah,
this is
you're
Persia.
fine. Take your time.
All
She's
right,
beautiful.
let's go, girl.
That's so crazy how their skin just like has those patterns on it.
Well, you know what? They feel so soft. And I wonder if you have to like put some moisturizer on them. Do they
I
have
don't think
snake moist?
snake lotion. I don't think
I'm gonna
what.
ask you. Yeah, snake oil. Snake oil is called.
Yeah,
You know what snake oil is?
yeah, literal. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't think you have to put lotion on the snake. I mean,
It puts the lotion on.
what? There's no. I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's any
Well,
snake oil
I'm gonna
or
ask Google that.
shea butter for
Mhm.
snakes. Cocoa snake butter. Although those desert snakes, like those ashy, like I feel like a rattlesnake would get ashy.
All right.
Oh
Cam,
So
wow,
do
here,
you, this is going to be a silly question, but do you have to do any kind of
moisturizing.
moisturizing or snake oil on the snake to keep their skin okay, or they take care of it themselves?
nope. I just keep it very humid in their environments, or as humid as they would have it in their natural environment,
Uh
Sure.
huh.
and they're fine after that.
Are you using a steam vaporizer or
So
cool air ultrasonic ones?
yeah, just cool air. I'll either have an actual mister that just sprays,
Yeah,
Hmm.
or I will just take a little squirt gun and just spray.
Sure.
Yeah, just
Right.
uh,
put water in there. She's
got
trying to
it.
put on my hat.
Oh,
Got to introduce
nice.
you first, girl. So this this is Medusa. Um,
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
I
Okay. That's
love
fair.
the
I mean,
names of these
I
animals.
know. Me
Thank you.
too. We were just talking about that.
I don't know if you guys remember how I said there's only one species of snake that has ever successfully killed and eaten a human. That's
Yes.
Is
the
that it?
species here, and she is
Fantastic.
the reticulated python is the largest snake in the world,
Uh huh.
Hercules.
longest snake in the world. Green anacondas will actually get heavier than them. And she can be pretty active sometimes, but she's usually slow while she's being active. Um, but she is great. I've had her the longest of all of my snakes,
Okay.
and I had her since she was maybe a less than half of this size.
Oh
Hmm.
wow.
Wow.
Well, you can't go in the plants, girl. But yeah, so she is great. She will eventually hit at least 18 feet,
Oh my
And
God.
yeah,
Dang.
now that also comes into how I said you have to do research
Right.
and be prepared to get a snake or get an animal that gets big. So
Right.
when she reaches right now, she's in a Zen Habitats. Shout out to them because they make great enclosures. She is in a Zen Habitats, um, 4 foot, 4 foot wide, 2 foot deep, and 4 foot tall enclosure.
Hmm.
She is about maybe 6 feet right now, and she can stay in that enclosure for another year and a half to 2 years.
Oh
By that
wow. Okay.
time, yeah, by that time, I will have the means to build a larger enclosure for her
Sure.
to accommodate for how big she's going to get.
Right.
These snakes can reach up to 10 feet in 2 years.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, they
Does
grow.
that snake like need a rabbit or something to eat?
So
Need a rabbit.
yeah, so she can't eat rabbits yet, but
Yet. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, but it'll happen soon. She will be at the point where she can eat adult chicken soon as well. Um,
An
yeah,
adult chicken. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So she will be the biggest snake that I have by the time she's fully grown, and especially because she's a female, and
Oh
females in
yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
get significantly bigger than the males do, girl.
She doesn't
But
seem that slow. I'm gonna be honest. She does not seem that slow. For as large as she is, she does not seem
yeah,
slow.
it'll slow down as she gets bigger. But she really likes to climb. That's
Okay.
part of why I got her a 4 foot tall enclosure as well,
Sure.
because she will be at the top of that enclosure um, most of the time.
You should get her a cat tree.
Oh,
Gotcha. Yeah.
she would love it. She would love it. But whenever I do end up building her a larger enclosure again to accommodate for her size, and I wish you guys could feel how strong she is.
Oh, I'm sure it's just a giant muscle
Yeah,
tube.
yeah.
So the skin, is that scales? Would you say that those are scales
Yeah,
on her?
so I'll put it close to the camera. I hope you guys can see.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
Okay.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
animal.
Yeah. 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 Like the
these are thousands of little scales,
right.
and the back scales are different from the stomach scales. I'm not sure
Right.
if you guys can see that. So these
Yeah.
stomach scales, they allow them to hold on to trees. They allow
Hmm.
them to hold on to their prey. They allow them to hold on to all types of different things and move efficiently in their environments. The other scales that are on their sides and on their back are for camouflage.
Sure.
Camouflage and then a little bit of protection as well. This snake, if I released her in the wild, I'd never find her. She
Oh no.
just, yeah, just with how good her camouflage is, and this is how they look in the wild as well.
Right.
With how good her camouflage is, I would have to be the luckiest man in the world to just find this snake, especially at the
Right.
size she's at now. She would have to, she'd have to be out and about, and I just got lucky and came across her.
Right.
This is also the snake that I fed a raw chicken bone to, and she demolished it. She demolished.
Oh, she was into it. She liked it.
Oh she loved it. And shoot, here's another example. She's wrapped around my neck.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, I feel perfectly fine. She's not squeezing. She's just
Couldn't be
holding
me.
on. Exactly.
Just holding
Uh,
on.
yeah, literally. That's it. They don't have hands, so
Oh,
they
that's yeah.
they yeah.
That makes sense. That makes
You're
That's
sense.
not into autoerotic asphyxiation, are
Are
you?
you kidding me?
no, but she does a great job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
she
nice
does a
scarf.
great job.
And
Oh, she
speaking of
probably
which,
likes the
do
warmth
you
of
take
your
these
neck.
guys out to Costco or when you go shopping? Or I mean,
What?
I,
Yeah, he's got a little snake
while
harness.
yeah, so
well,
while I could, I
yeah,
don't. I try not to walk around with snakes in places where people really don't expect them.
Yeah.
That being said, whenever I go to pet stores, whether they're locally owned pet stores or or like PetSmart or
Hmm.
Petco, I will always bring one of my snakes. And people
gotcha.
always they lose it whenever they see them, just because these are bigger than most snakes that
Right in the
Yeah.
store.
on a regular basis. She's trying to get into the plants just like Kuina was.
Do,
Um,
have you ever heard of or do you use Missouri food?
No, what's that?
No, they eat raw. They're
No,
not
I know,
eating.
but
There's no
Missouri
snake
makes. I'm sure
pellet.
they make food for reptile snakes too.
There's no snake
They're
pellet.
snake pellet. Okay, it's a commercial food that zoos use, and for
Zoo
different types
feed
of
for like
animals.
herbivores. There's like the
Right,
Missouri.
Oh,
they
Yeah,
make
I don't think they
specialized
do. I
food.
don't think they do carnivores. I think
yeah,
it's
I was gonna say
mostly
I haven't heard of them. Um,
no.
Okay,
yeah, I haven't heard of them.
not a problem.
But if they did sell feeds for reptiles, I'd probably take advantage of it, especially if it was cost friendly.
Yeah,
So you don't have to supplement at all. Just give them a live food, and
balanced diet.
they're happy. They're
Oh, you
happy.
guys are breaking up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You
So
said I
sorry.
don't have to supplement it all in what?
you don't have to supplement their food with any essential fatty acids or certain things that they don't get, like a salt lick.
A salt lick.
Okay.
It's not a horse.
Nope, not at all. And yeah,
Well, I
there's
was using it as an example.
yeah.
All
Do
right.
you have
Who's
to put
last?
do you have to
Who's
put
the last but
sunscreen
not
on them? Like,
least?
oh my god.
Oh, let's get the last one. I'll go put her
Well,
away.
that animal that came from Australia, maybe there's something here that they're not getting that they would get in Australia, right? So that's why.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure they have chickens running around in Australia.
yeah.
No, but I mean, there might be some mineral that uh, animal needs that's not here that has to be added. That's what
No,
I'm
that's
saying.
definitely a good thought process to have, especially as an attempt to be a good pet owner. You want to make sure you check off all those boxes.
Yeah.
That
Sure.
being said, no, they don't really have anything special that they need. There are some
Okay.
snakes though that can be extremely high maintenance,
Hmm.
where
Pass.
you have to be on top of it. And then there are some snakes, like the dragon snake, for example, where you can't even have those in captivity, because they just can't survive. You can't
Hmm.
provide what they need in the wild.
Hmm.
But goodbye to Medusa, and I will go get the next snake.
Yeah, she does. She does seem like Medusa, like she belongs on Medusa's head. And it's just crazy to see the big ones moving around like that, don't you think?
Yeah. What's the one? Is it the Gila monster that we've talked about that they bite you and you're dead?
That's a Komodo dragon.
Komodo dragon. Yeah, that's what we need them to get.
Oh my god. Yeah. Hey, can you get this really poisonous lizard? I mean,
Komodo.
maybe someone will try to dump one on him one day. You never know. They
Yeah,
are kind of cute in like a murdery way.
the Komodo dragon.
Yeah, they kind of got a cute little face.
So a snake is not a reptile, is it?
Are you shit? Oh my god.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't have legs.
So, have you ever heard of the legless lizard?
No,
Go
no,
look
I've
that up.
not heard of it.
Go look it up. It's very funny looking because sometimes they have these little like underdeveloped nubs. But yeah, it's a legless lizard.
Komodo dragon, world's largest
That's
and
not what I.
deadliest monster.
That's not what I said to look up.
Komodo dragon eats a buffalo. Wow.
Oh yeah, they
Holy
eat
moly.
goats.
All right, come on, girl.
Go, but look up legless lizard. I'm not kidding. It's a legless lizard with some of them have little nubs. Some of them just literally just look like snakes.
All right, you
But it's
guys.
not a snake. It's a lizard.
So I'm back, but I'm gonna back up the camera just a little bit
Oh
because
sure.
she won't fit if I'm sitting down.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my god.
Whoa. That's a
Yeah.
monster.
So hopefully you
How much
guys.
does that monster weigh?
Yeah.
Don't call it a monster.
So this is Hildy. And
Hildy.
Hildy.
yes, so the owner of one of my favorite pet stores out here in New Mexico. Um, you okay? It's called Jurassic Pets. It's in Santa Fe. It's owned by a guy named Rick, and he does an incredible job with all of his animals.
Is it
Um,
Ranger Rick by chance?
no, but or she, excuse me. She was his pet for about 10 years.
Mhm.
He bred her, sold the babies, and she started getting a little bit aggressive
Oh.
after a while. Yeah. And because of her size, no one wanted her. And
Oh.
he reached out to me and he was just like, "Look, man, she's starting to cost me more money, to
Right.
keep her." I'll put her on my shoulders. Here we go.
You can do curls with that thing.
Yeah, no. So he was saying, she's starting to cost me more money to keep her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, would you take her off? Would you take her off my hands? And I said, yeah, give me 2 weeks. I will
Mm-hmm.
build an enclosure for her, and I was able to take her, and
Wow.
she has been a wonder to have. I have been able to hand her to children.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I was gonna say, did her aggression issues calm down? Was it maybe like her environment that was just she wasn't agreeing with anymore?
yeah. So what I think it was is she was a big snake that was around a lot of people walking around all the time, around other snakes, and she didn't have the best husbandry in her environment.
Ah,
And
okay,
that's usually the case at pet stores because
sure,
those animals are coming and going.
right,
They don't that you're not going to put in the best
right. You
husbandry
just need the
because
basics, for, like what's.
exactly, exactly. And she didn't have that. And once I got her, I gave it to her.
Hmm.
She has a huge, a 20-gallon water bowl that yeah, she'll just lay in it and soak in it. She does a great job. She'll climb around in her enclosure. Where I just got her from earlier was her basking spot, which is yeah, a second level in her enclosure that I made specifically so she had to climb. She had
Hmm.
to move around,
Right,
and
and go do something.
exactly, exactly. But she's great.
And what is she
Yeah.
again?
So this is I didn't even say. So this is a red tail boa.
Red tail
If you
boa.
want to be
Okay.
specific, she is a BCI, a boa constrictor imperator, meaning she's not a true red tail boa.
Okay.
A lot of people get very specific about those kind of things, but the way you can tell is the darker color on their tail.
Mhm. Mhm.
Usually in true red tail boas, that'll be a bright red color.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they're found all over South America and unfortunately different parts of the United States as an invasive species.
F. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
So
gotta.
I have a question for you, and
What's up?
it's a little off topic, but I can understand your dog being a little bit of a chick magnet. But are the snakes like chick magnets? How does that work?
Actually, yeah, a little bit. I will have I'll have some women reach out to me and they'll just that they'll say or I'll have people comment on my posts. Oh yeah, we love these snakes. Let's see the other one. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so
Oh god. That's
the
awesome.
snakes definitely open up. Uh-oh, somebody's yawning. Uh,
That is so cool.
the snakes, yeah, I thought she was gonna open her mouth all the way, but the
Yeah, let's
snakes
see those
definitely
fangs.
open up.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, like, people that are
Yeah,
really into reptiles, like, if they're a reptile person, I'm sure it's very yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I hope they're not the same chicks that hang out at the Harry Potter convention because those are some weird chicks. Let me tell you.
You are the weirdest person on the planet. You cannot cast any stones. I mean, you've
yeah.
got little coins
No,
back there.
those Harry Potter chicks are weird.
Again, stop
I
calling
like
the kettle black.
I like them, but no, it opens up a lot of doors for different kinds of flirting tactics. But
Okay.
I usually laugh at it. I'm glad
Yeah,
people. I'm just glad people are taking the time to watch and interact with
right,
the
and be
things that I.
engaged.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, so I just. Oh, are you gonna yawn for us?
Yes, show us your fangs.
Yeah, let's. I'll keep her head in the camera just in case. Um,
Great.
I don't know if you guys can see her eyes a little bit blue here. She's gonna shed soon as well.
Oh, they're all in like it's like they've
So there's
synced up
no
cycles.
auditory thing with snakes. They don't hear, right?
What do you mean
Yes,
they don't hear?
that because they don't have ears that we can see, they
Yes.
still can hear.
Oh,
Why would
how's
you
that?
think they can't hear?
Yeah, so
No, because I don't think I've never seen an ear on a snake.
So
and that is a common misconception. So I don't fault you for it. But if you look,
fault him.
their ear is literally right around here. And oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bother you, girl. The ear is right around there, and it literally sounds like if you were to turn your headphones off and try to have
Yeah,
a conversation with
with
them.
my headphones on.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
muffled.
yeah, extremely muffled. So they don't they don't really rely on their hearing
If
too
it's
much.
not their stronger sense, it's just kind of
Exactly.
it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What they do rely on is their sight.
Mm-hmm.
Some snakes, because there are snakes like corn snakes, and bull snakes and racer snakes that will hunt during the day and actively chase their prey.
Oh
Then you have,
wow.
Oh,
yeah, so they'll chase lizards,
wow.
other snakes, rodents. They will chase them up trees into burrows, and they have incredible vision.
Hmm.
You have some snakes like boas and pythons that have much better vision at nighttime. Uh-oh, come on, girl. I got my hopes up. I'm sorry.
It's all
Um,
right.
Show
they
us
have
your
much better
teeth.
vision at nighttime, and they will rely on their heat sensing pits that are towards the front of their faces, or their
Okay.
mouths, that basically
Okay.
allow them to see in pitch black, but they can see in infrared.
Wow.
They can
Oh, so you have
accurately,
like heat sensors.
yes, they can accurately tell a change in heat, from up
No
to a meter
kidding.
away. So if I put her in a pitch
Wow.
black room, yeah, I could put her in a pitch black room, and I could release, a rabbit or a rat.
So
In
they're sensing a temperature differential, and that way
Between
they
like
know
the
which way to
surrounding
move. Is that
environment
how
and
they're
like
doing that?
the
Yeah, kind of. So let's say she's in a pitch black room. I release a large rat. Uh,
Yeah.
what she would start by doing is flicking her tongue. That tells her, okay, there's food in the area.
something's in the air, right?
Exactly, and their tongues have chemical receptors to where, they can literally sense prey that they can't even see yet. Um, now, also, most animals don't know that snakes are predators, because most of the time, an animal's first interaction with a snake is their last. So, yeah,
That's fair.
so
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's
yeah,
fair. So yeah, hmm.
exactly. So rodents don't know to be afraid of
Of this
snakes.
tube. Yeah, oh
Yes,
look, it's a moving
because
tube. Oh
most
shit.
of the time, their first interaction with them is their last.
You
And that is kind of morbid, but
yeah,
she would, yeah. So
what it
she would
is.
flick her tongue, smell the rat, and progressively get closer to that rat. The rat would be moving around,
Right.
smelling, doing whatever, and as soon as she got within a meter of this rat, she now knows exactly where it is, and she can almost strike at it with pinpoint accuracy.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yikes.
these animals are incredible hunters, incredible animals. And like I said in the beginning, part of what I do is to just help people understand you don't have to be afraid of these animals. You just have to respect them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many animals that have unfortunately really bad PR, like
Yeah.
wolves,
Oh,
snakes,
Yeah.
bats,
Well.
yep.
possums,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's
Absolutely.
like
But
they need a new PR team for sure, or
yeah,
marketing. Their
yeah,
PR is not the best. Especially
yep,
snakes that aren't even I get like poisonous snakes, but snakes that aren't poisonous, it's kind of like, eh,
yeah.
you
And
know.
So how do you find a good vet? I mean, I'm sure there's large animal vets, there's cats and dogs, which they all do,
Oh yeah,
but
do they need any like is there
do
snake
they
rabies or
you do
something?
this? Do they
so
have to have a
Snake
snake
distemper?
certification?
so two things. One, I wanted to touch on something that you said, El. Snakes actually are venomous. They're not poisonous. Um, there has been some research. They believe that I think there's one species of snake that's actually poisonous.
Oh, no
Um,
kidding.
but snakes are venomous.
That's right.
Yeah, meaning you could drink the venom and be perfectly fine as long as you didn't have any open wounds in your mouth. That
Right, what
being
is
said,
it? If
but
it's
I'm sorry.
if you eat it and you die, it's poisonous. If it
Yep.
bites you and you die, it's venomous.
Yes. Exactly. Now that being said, just because you can technically
Right,
drink
just
venom,
yeah,
not
I'm
gonna
good.
work.
No,
Yeah.
no, pass.
Now that being said, back to the vet question. It can be extremely difficult finding a reptile vet. Um, I'm talking extremely difficult. I would have to drive about an hour and a half away
Ooh,
to get to one. Yeah, and that's because reptiles aren't a common enough pet.
Sure.
So because of that, there have been times where I have found my snakes having some breathing issues, where
oh, yikes.
it sounds like a kind of a whistle when they breathe,
Mhm.
and that can mean a respiratory infection.
Eek.
Um, yeah, and when you're a reptile owner and there aren't any reptile vets nearby, you have to go to the internet. And thankfully, there's tons of resources on YouTube and on Google where people are saying, yeah, I have a reptile. I did this, that, and the third when my reptile was experiencing these symptoms, and it helped. I didn't have to go to the vet, and it worked out. That being said, I still recommend taking your snakes to the vet.
Right.
This girl here, she's over 10 years old. She has scars on her. Her nose is a little bit messed up. Even though she's shedding, she has a little bit of vision problems. And that's partially because of the husbandry that she was dealing with for so long. But since I've gotten her, she has calmed down significantly. I've been able to give her a great home. And for the last 10 to 15 years of her life, I want to make sure that she is comfortable.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is the age differential between a captive snake and a wild snake?
So captive snakes almost always live longer.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like twice as long?
It can be. It really depends on the kind of snake and where they're located. And then it also depends on where they're being kept. For example, I mentioned dragon snakes earlier. They live significantly longer in the wild than they do in captivity because we literally can't provide a proper captive setting for them.
Sure.
That being said, all of the snakes that I've shown you guys will live longer in captivity as long as I continue providing proper husbandry for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these snakes here, they can live into their 30s.
Wow.
Yeah. There are some snakes that can live up to their 40s. Some will, stop at around 10 to 15 years. It really depends.
Got it.
Like my Medusa, she'll probably max out at about 25 years. But that she'll be massive by the time she reaches that age.
Sure.
But yeah, it really depends on how well you take care of the snake and what kind of snake it is.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that was great, man. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you so much for your.
We've never had a
animal
show and tell before. I don't think.
No, this has been very exciting.
This was my first podcast. I appreciate you guys reaching out.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
It genuinely means so much to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if I want to find you on YouTube, what would I look up? Cammy,
yeah, go ahead.
Crocodile Cam.
Why are you playing in Cammy like you know him? What?
So
Cammy.
If you look up Crocodile Cam on any social media.
Yes, go ahead, plug all your socials.
Yeah, it may be Crocodile Cam, it may be Crocodile Cam _. But if you look up Crocodile Cam on any social media, you'll be able to find it.
Okay, I'm trying to find you right now because I want to.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter.
Crocodile Cam.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? It's this is more of a camera, showing you
like a live feed.
Yeah. Try Crocodile Cam _. If I leave this page, like if I keep the camera rolling, can I go to YouTube?
You're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Crocodile Cam.
Yeah, and I'll have you send me all the links to all your socials, and I'll put it in the episode description so people can go click on it. Yeah. So we'll be able to access that, no problem.
So my YouTube is Crocodile Cam _. Yep.
Listen, we look forward to watching you grow as a reptile keeper.
Oh, there you are. You are. Nice to meet you all. I'm Crocodile Cam. There you are.
There we go. All right, that's perfect. And look,
are you a Cowboys fan? I see you with a Cowboys.
So I went to New Mexico Highlands University, and our mascot is the Cowboys.
Oh, I see. Not the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, no, I'm a Seahawks fan.
Oh, okay. God. Somehow that's worse.
Yeah. Who is your team?
Take a wild guess.
We're
in your division.
Raiders?
We're in your division. It's a division rivalry.
49ers?
Niners?
Not you. Yeah, the Niners. Yeah.
You're not a Raiders fan?
No. Absolutely not. I've never been a Raiders fan. You know this.
If only.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you
Look,
so
All
much,
right,
Cam. We
Cam.
look forward to keeping up with you as you get more animals and doing
oh,
more show and tells. Thank you so much for your
Right. Thank
time
you so
and,
much. I hope we
you know,
can have you back when you have some new
that's
members of the
literally
cast.
what
I would
I
be
just said.
honored. I'd be honored. Thank you so much. And then I'll make sure to shout you guys out as well. You guys are on
Oh, yeah.
Spotify and YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, pretty much every platform, Apple Podcasts, like every platform, we
Oh,
are
perfect.
on.
Okay,
If
cool.
if it's a podcast platform, we are on it, like iHeartRadio,
Thank
Amazon,
you.
Google. But
Oh,
yes, thank you
great.
so
How about
much,
Amazon?
Cam.
All
What'd you say,
right.
Dan?
Oh,
I'm
what's
not. I'm listening to Google now. I've graduated. I went from Pandora to Spotify to Amazon.
yeah, there you go.
You're
There
amazing.
you go.
You're just so
All
amazing.
right.
But
Thank
thank
you,
you so much
Cam.
for listening.
Thank you
Thank you,
guys so
Cam, and
much.
all his animals.
See
We'll
you.
see you
Bye.
guys next week.